Okay, I'd like to give my sympathy to all those people that died and were injured in the Colorado shooting, which was about a month ago now, jeez. I just kind of want to do this better because of my original Dark Knight Rises review. I kind of just whipped up that in a minute. I just had my camera, I was like, oh, I'd like to give my sympathy for those people that died. But no, I want to say this. That person's crazy. I hope they just kill him, because the government needs some kind of policy where if you're a nut, you just walk up and poof. Yeah, fucking nut. You walk into the theater and shoot people, we shoot you in the face, and we piss on you, and we throw you in the dumpster. Done. Why waste people's taxpayers' money to keep that nut in prison unless you're going to assure us that in prison there's going to be some big old black guy there to fuck him and make him cry, because otherwise, what's the point? I'm getting off track. But, and also there's the nut that got arrested for trying to bring in a bunch of weapons to another theater. What's going to happen is there going to be a bunch of guards in theaters now with machine guns. Something should be done. They should be finding the crazy people easier. I don't know how to do that. I make it sound so easy. Just look on the computer and find all the crazy people and kill them. No, it's not easy, and it's worrying me. Things are crazy. Oh, and I'd also like to apologize that this video is so long. This video is like almost 50 minutes, I think, depending on how much I cut out. It's like 30 to 40 to 50 minutes. I'm not sure yet, but I'd like to apologize that this video is so long. In the future, I'm going to try to keep my videos under 12 minutes. Okay, so enjoy. Feels weird being here. I haven't made a video in weeks, and honestly that hurt. That like took a part of me away, because I enjoy making YouTube videos, and this is my 100th video, I believe. I'll check to be sure, but I'm pretty sure this is video 100. What better way to spend my 100th video than reviewing The Dark Knight Rises for a second time? Now this time I'm just going to spoil everything, because last video I was being cryptic about everything, and there was so much stuff I was excited to talk about, and I couldn't, because I don't want to spoil it for the 2% of you that haven't seen it in theaters yet. And it's been like 2 weeks, or no, actually it's been way longer. I would count the weeks. It's been about 5 weeks. I gave you a whole month just about. It's August 16th today. The fact that if you're a Batman fan, or just a fan of a good movie, and you haven't seen it, then you're not seeing movies this summer or something, because, I mean, what else would someone go to see this summer, really? From July on, it's been a whole bunch of shit. And it's a shame, this summer's almost been cursed, because the Colorado shootings affected The Dark Knight Rises making its money. It made a lot of good money, but it could have made more, but the frickin' shooting. And then the second guy, some guy got arrested a while ago for trying to bring in a bag full of knives and guns and stuff. Fucking crazy people. Oh, God. But yeah, pretty much a bunch of shitty movies lately. The Watch, Ice Age 4, I'm hearing isn't that good. I enjoy those movies, but it's not something really good. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, that's pretty split down the middle. Total Recall's nothing special. Hope Springs is supposed to be good, but I don't know, really. The Campaign should be okay. I heard The Bourne Legacy kind of blows. Apparently it's pretty disappointing. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm afraid to, because frankly, the people whose opinions I respect have been saying it's pretty low. It's not that good a movie. Chris Stuckman, he's a movie critic I respect, and I find him to be the most reliable critic on YouTube. I also like Tom Chettlebash, and that's his thing. He's YouTube's most reliable movie critic. Unfortunately, I find Stuckman not slightly more reliable, and he basically said in the whole 2-hour movie, only about 10 minutes of action, a lot of talk, and not that good a movie. Unfortunately, because I was excited about that. And then what else has come out? Sparkle? No. Odd Life of Timothy Green. It's a pretty sappy movie. Paranorman, and Apparently Expendables 2 is way better than the first, just because it's got the magic of Chuck Norris or something, and Arnold. But pretty much a lackluster summer. No really good movies besides Dark Knight Rises, because there's also like Ted, and I'm struggling to really think of other really good movies. Spider-Man was good, but that was such a copy of the original. They took everything and just switched it around. Green Goblin? Lizard. Okay, they did everything the same. It's a disappointing of a movie. Dark Knight Rises, though, unfortunately, when I did the review, it was only a few days after seeing that, and it is pretty hyped as being the best of the trilogy. Now, when I see commercials, I still see, like, that's how they use the critics that say, like, the best of the trilogy, best superhero movie ever, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, when I'm looking around on the internet and stuff, the consensus, for the most part anyway, is that it is not. Apparently, too many people went into this hoping for the Dark Knight, which isn't wrong. It's the same guy that made the Dark Knight. They're expecting to top the Dark Knight, and for the villain to be better than Heath Ledger. I can understand why you want it to be as good, because it's in the trilogy. They're very... like the movie, it's a trilogy. It should be, the movies should all have the same kind of feel and be on the same quality level, hopefully. I thought it was the best, and I stand by that it's the best movie. The villain is the weak point, because Bane, as good as Tom Hardy is, a lot of people are just bothered by the fact that they can't see his whole face. Christian Bale does awesome as Batman. You only see his mouth and his eyes. So, yeah. But people just wanted, it's like they went in saying, if it doesn't have Heath Ledger's Joker, I will not enjoy it as much. Heath Ledger's Joker was everything, and nope, it wasn't the Dark Knight. So it is therefore lower. No, I can't enjoy it. There's no Joker. I get it, he was awesome, but you fucking knew when you were going in the movie, there's no Joker or nothing. You had to be open-minded enough to accept what they're doing and not just be super disappointed because there's no Joker. Yeah. And you know what's a weird thing I noticed? A while ago I was watching a movie, A Knight's Tale, with Heath Ledger. And the whole time I was watching it, every time I saw him, I thought I was looking at Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And it was creeping me out. They were both in 10 Things I Hate About You. They're both in the Batman movies. I wish Heath Ledger didn't die because he's such a good actor. But that would have been hilarious if... because I know Nolan's plans for this movie were way different. It was going to have more Joker and all that. It was a different story. But if he had Joseph Gordon-Levitt as John Blake in it still, and he ended up like in some kind of face-to-face thing with Joker, that looks so weird. Because they look the same. Honestly, they look the same. It's creepy. It's an eerie resemblance. Yeah, the movie, let's just get into this. Because I've been gone for so long. Just, unfortunately, I was sick first. And then I ended up working a lot. Doing work, so I wasn't able to make a video, but I can make it now, so let's get into this. It begins. Bruce Wayne's this crippled old man. Some people have a problem with that. I understand completely. He's been taking a beating over these movies. He freaking falls on cars half the time. He's getting beat up all the time. The end of the movie, he fell. The fall on the end of the Dark Knight that killed Harvey Dent, Batman took the same fall. Just maybe by 2 feet less, because Harvey was kind of knocked off and fell, and Bruce kind of had a hand grip, so that cuts down arm's length of falling. And he had his cape to help him. But he fell, and I can see how that would mess up his legs. I think someone just died. I'll be right back. Well, that was weird. Some lady in a Charlie Chaplin mustache just fell down and died outside my room. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. What was I talking about? I already forgot. Damn it. Okay, now I gotta rewind my camera and figure out what I was talking about. Okay, so yeah, Bruce Wayne is kind of a cripple. He fell far enough to kill a regular person. He, luckily enough, had the armor, but at the same time, pretty much messed up his legs. And at the beginning, he's hobbling around on a cane. Well, it's not just all of a sudden he was hurt. At the end of the Dark Knight, he was like running in a really limping way to get to his bat pod so he could escape the cops. And I guess that's the last time he was Batman, is running away from the cops on the bat pod. And then he sat in his house, a broken, crippled up man, because said he achieved peace at that point, because they used Harvey Dent's death, made the Dent Act, which is kind of a strange act. They can just lock up prisoners in jail without parole or anything and take away all their rights. Works, I guess. And it's kind of a downbeat beginning, because aside from the fact that you get the awesome scene of Bane in the airplane kidnapping the doctor, scientist guy who figured out how to turn a nuclear reactor into an atom bomb, there's that really cool scene. It was really cool, but then after that, it's all downbeat. Like, Gordon's about to give the speech about the truth to Harvey Dent, but he wants to keep peace going, so he doesn't. And his wife and kids left him. They went to Cleveland. I mean, if you've seen Howard the Duck, you know, if you could be anywhere, you wouldn't want to be in Cleveland. I felt bad for him, and I forgot that fact. I had to think about it again, because I remember, I was like, oh, they left him after all he did for them? And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, where's his wife? He's in the hospital. Why isn't his wife visiting him? I was like, oh, right, they left him. So that's mean. That's sad. But anyway, everyone's sad, except for the rest of the city. It's peacetime. And yeah, Bruce has no reason to go out. He lost what he thought would be the love of his life. He doesn't know the truth about how she's going to marry Harvey Dent. The city's achieved peace. There's no crazy supervillains running around. They don't need Batman. Plus, they kind of hate him. They think he killed Harvey Dent. I can understand why it wouldn't be Batman. And the reason he comes back, it's a little bit... That's the part where I'm not completely sure why, but I can still... I'm not exactly sure, but it was a mix of things, because he hasn't been Batman for so long. He goes to a doctor, and the doctor tells him, I've seen worse cartilage in knees because you have none. Ha! But it was funny, because that's the actor from Reno 911, and I Love You Man, among other comedies, and he's really funny. But, yeah, he's got no cartilage in his knees or nothing. His elbows and legs are all screwed up. He's just broken down. Because the truth is, there was something at Comic-Con once where a real doctor said how long you would have to be Batman. And I believe it was something like, if you were Batman, like, without any breaks, like you just did all the stuff Batman does, you'd have about 3 years, and then you'd have to retire just out of body injuries and such. And that makes sense. That kind of fits these movies. I think a Batman who took a lot of breaks, because if you think about it, he was Batman just straight on. He spent 7 years in Batman Begins making himself become the Batman. Then he did all the stuff with Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul. Then after that he was dealing with the mob. And then a couple months later Joker shows up and he has to deal with him and all that. And then at that point he's pretty broken down. And while Bruce Wayne's all broken down, Selina Kyle, who's never referred to as Catwoman, but you know it is, she robs his vault, which has his mom's pearls, which were getting stolen from her when she got shot in the alley. So I kind of didn't like Catwoman right there. I'm like, how could you steal that from him? But at the same time, she doesn't know. But that must have pissed off Bruce. He's like, you fucking bitch. Like, she took something really important from him. But at the same time, that was a bonus, because she was there to take his fingerprints. She had to get them for somebody because they were setting out Bruce Wayne for something. She's working with Bane and this other guy, Daggett, who works in Wayne Enterprises, and he's trying to set him up to take money from him or something. I only saw the movie once. I haven't had a chance to see it a second time. I'd love to see it a second time. I want to, but I haven't had a chance, and I think it would help, because it would help me clarify everything I saw in the movie. I'm going off what I saw 5 weeks ago. I still remember it pretty good, though. And Bane's robbing the stock market for some reason, and just a tiny bit before that, Gordon was going into the sewers, and he stumbled across Bane's lair and got shot and flushed in the sewer water. Kind of like Halle Berry and Catwoman. Except Gary Oldman did it with more grace, and he did it with honor, while Halle Berry just kind of got flushed out of a sewage system like a turd. But the movie was a turd too. But yeah, Gordon's all busted up in the hospital, and Wayne visits him with his little ski mask thing in a suit, kind of like he did their first meeting in Batman Begins. And he tells him Batman has to come back, so Batman's kind of like, oh, I think I gotta do it. So he gets the magical knee braces that fix his knees, while he wears them anyway. And then Bane's attacking the stock market, so Batman's like, well, good as time as any. I guess I have to do this. Let's go. I'm back. And I felt it was a stand up and cheer moment when those guys are escaping on the motorbikes. He shows up on the Bat Pod taking them out. I was like, yeah, frick, this is awesome. This is what we want. We want to see Batman kicking ass. He's been gone for 8 years. Everyone wants to see Batman kick ass. Cool. But also during that, Bruce also had one other visit. John Blake, also known as Robin John Blake, at the end of the movie, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I like his performance. I think his character has a few stupid parts. I love that his name is Robin, because that's a nice nod to the comics. Even though the character's not the same at all, but whatever. That was Nolan's way of putting Robin in the movie without putting Robin in the movie. He visits Bruce and he figured out that Bruce is Batman. I like that because it shows that someone's smart, because it should be pretty easy. I mean, Ra's al Ghul could figure it out. I'm pretty sure if he thought about it. Hey, there's a vigilante that showed up and he's got all these cool gadgets, and basically a month or so before he showed up, Bruce Wayne showed up, back from the dead, people thought, and he kind of hasn't been seen a lot, but right as he shows up, this vigilante shows up. Hey, Bruce Wayne is disappeared again, same time the vigilante disappeared. You can put it together if you think about it. But the way he figured out was stupid, because there was some story about how Bruce Wayne visited an orphanage he was at, and he saw the look in his eyes, and that's the look of someone who's pretending to be who they are, something he could tell, because John Blake or someone had to put on a smile and stuff every day that he's happy in the orphanage, and that's how Bruce Wayne is when he's pretending to be Bruce Wayne even though he's really Batman, is how he feels. I kind of felt that was stupid. You would not figure out something like that by looking in their eyes. In my opinion anyway, I felt that was stupid, but whatever. Do what you gotta do. If that's gotta be how he figures it out, okay. Because otherwise, if he just figures out by going, yeah, I did simple math. You're a rich guy, you got all these money and gadgets, you could do it easy. Use all your money, you can make these gadgets. And whenever Batman shows up and disappears, same time you kind of do. If he did that, then everyone else would look stupid. Because Gordon freaking doesn't put it together until Bruce Wayne tells him. He's like, do you remember putting a coat around a small child and telling him the world hadn't ended? And he's like, Bruce Wayne? Oh my God. It's like, oh God, you didn't figure it out? Because they feel kind of stupid for not figuring it out. But he's got good alibis, I guess. That's not the point of the story, though. The point is, the Batman is Rocky, and Bane is Apollo Creed. And Batman goes in, and he's been gone for a while. He's not been training. He's not been working out. He doesn't have the eye of the bat, I guess you would say. And he goes in there, and Bane kicks his ass. He freaking beats the crap out of him. And then he breaks his back, which was amazing to see that transfer from the comics to the screen in such a great way. When I saw him break his back, I was sitting there in shock, just like, holy crap. They did it. I loved it. And yeah, then Batman gets thrown in the pit, which is a weird prison. It's just a hole in the ground that they kind of dug into and made a little civilization. And he recovers from his back injury in 5 months about. And I don't really want to question the logic of how he did that. That just some doctor in a prison could fix his broken back. But I'm not a doctor. Maybe he was really good and had all these surgical tools in there. He had 5 months. It'd have been better if he had... Like, I mean, in the comics, I think it took about a year. 5 months, half the time. But still, you know what? I'd buy it. They fixed his back. The guy's a good doctor. Okay. He's going to go back. Takes him 3 tries. I thought he died, though, because when people are climbing up that wall and they have the rope around them and they're trying to make the leap, when they fall, to me that looked like the fall of dead men, because they just go down and then just stop because the rope tugs them. It made me think of the comics when Spider-Man was saving Gwen Stacy from the Green Goblin, and he shot the web to save her, and she's falling, and then she just stops. And that killed her. That broke her back and her spine or something. I'm like, oh no, Batman just broke his back again. Now this is really going to piss him off. But no, he's fine. So it took him 2 more tries, he figured out. And while he's in there, he hears the tale of Bane, but it's also the tale of Talia al Ghul, and it's kind of a mixed and mashed version of their 2 origins. Born in the prison, figured out how to escape, but Talia was the child that escaped, Bane was her protector, all that stuff. You figure out at parts. Unfortunately, some of this was cut out. This is the only Nolan movie I'm aware of that had an amount cut out, because apparently they wouldn't let him have a 3-hour movie or over a 3-hour movie, so they're like, you just gotta cut some of this out, man. I really, although I'm not sure it's gonna happen, I hope they have some kind of director's cut where they have the full movie he wanted. But most likely, if they have it at all, it'll probably just be deleted scenes on a Blu-ray. But I'd rather they put it all together, because I want to see what was in the script and what he wanted to be the full movie, because they had to cut stuff out, and unfortunately some of it was Bane's origin, which is kind of what a lot of people were missing. People were like, I don't know enough about Bane. It's like, you know more than you know about Joker, so quit your whining. People love Joker and they don't know crap about him. They know his philosophy on life and that's it. Bane, you at least get some of his origin. You kind of understand his motivations, but at the same time you don't. So I think that origin would have helped. And Batman, anyway, finally escapes the place. How he got back to Gotham, I don't give a shit. He's Bruce Wayne. I know he's kind of broke because the stock market got all screwed up because of Bane, but I mean, he threw the rope down, so maybe all the other people that were in the prison came out and they built a boat. They built an ark and they rowed their way back to Gotham. Who knows where the pit is? I mean, it's probably in Asia, but if you want, you could say, oh no, it's just down the road from Gotham. No, it is in Asia, but I think Bruce just... Because you think of Batman Begins, how did he get around? He just kind of walked all over Asia and stuff, and maybe hitched onto planes or boats. Maybe that's how he got back to Gotham. How he got his bat suit back and got into Gotham when Bane has that atom bomb set up, and if anyone gets in or out of Gotham, he's going to kill them all? I don't know, but he's Batman, so he can do sneaky really well. And then they have the rematch between Rocky and Apollo Creed. Batman and Bane, they're going to beat the crap out of each other. They're fighting in the streets. It's a cool image to see just all those people fighting. And it was neat to see them just fighting through each other, through the crowds and just beating each other up. I think Batman beat him a little easy, but at the same time, he did kind of mash up his face thing. The thing that keeps his pain away, he broke that, so then Bane's just kind of in freaking chronic pain the whole time, so Batman's just like, I'm gonna get you now. That's basically what he did. He even said that. Not really. He did have a good line though, because you know Bane has the line, "When Gotham is ashes, you'll have my permission to die." He said something like, "You now have my permission to die." Something like that. That was funny. That was cool to see Batman do that. And I'm sick of punching my hands. It hurts already. But anyway, they fight, and Batman kind of learns the full origins because Talia comes up and stabs him, and you figure out that it is Talia. For most of the movie, it's Miranda Tate. And Catwoman shows up and freaking blows up Bane, basically. She shows up and just shoots him with one of the, like, bat pod rockets and has the cool line, "That thing about not killing, that's not going to work out for me." Something like that. It bothers me slightly that we don't get a better death for Bane, but whatever. It's funny. Went on a joke. He's going to finish Batman off with the shotgun, and then she shows up and shoots him, and he goes flying, and he's dead. Whatever. That bothered people too, is that Bane just kind of got taken out like that. Well, whatever. I'm just going with it, okay? Okay, Bane's dead. I kind of wish he went out better, but okay, what else are you going to do? Okay, they're chasing Talia. Okay, she died in something that wasn't as impressive as the semi-flip, but it was essentially like a garbage truck that went off a bridge and just kind of went down at first. Wasn't the same, but it was neat looking. And yet the atom bomb doesn't go off. Whatever, it was well built. And the Batman has to fly out of Gotham, sacrifices himself, and pretty much does what the Iron Giant did in like 99. I believe that movie came out. If you're familiar with the Iron Giant, you know that the ending of this movie and that are the exact same. The Iron Giant seized at a nuclear, well, I'm not sure if it was a nuclear bomb, but it was a big bomb, and they sent it to kill him, but they realize he's in the middle of town, everyone's going to die. He flies up into space, sacrifices himself to destroy the bomb, saves everyone in the town. They built a statue in his honor, and then you find out he's somewhere on the other side of the world, still alive. Yeah, that was the ending of Batman too. So, Batman is the Iron Giant. So a lot of people didn't like Bane. Well, I think this is the only time Bane's ever been done good besides the one comic book. Because honestly, what does Bane have in the comics? He has Nightfall. He broke Batman's back. Then Batman kind of came back and kicked his ass, and he never really did anything else in comics. Movies. The Joel Schumacher movie, where they pretended that was Bane, but that was just a guy. That was just a pro wrestler in a mask that looked like Bane's. That was not Bane. The several animated series. The Batman animated series, he basically looked like Red Hulk. Batman the animated series, the classic one that everyone loves, they did Bane wrong. He was just a Mexican wrestler. They never got Bane right except for this movie. And in this movie, they had to pretty much change his origin to do it right. Because Bane is just a South American guy who, like, his mom's South American, his dad's British. And then he goes to prison because they couldn't get his dad, so they send him to serve his dad's prison sentence. And in prison, he gets buff. He, like, just learns this prison rules mentality. Take out the biggest guy in there and you run the place. Got intelligent, got buff. He ended up being part of the Venom program, which was super steroid. He escaped. I'm going to go to Gotham. Batman's in charge. I'll take him out. He runs this place. I'll take out Batman. Did it? Okay, I run Gotham. Batman shows up. No more Venom. He'll, like, break his tubes or whatever that flow the Venom into him, and then he's just kind of regular buff like Tom Hardy was in this movie, and then Batman takes him out. And this movie is just, I think it was the same. He was, like, of South American and British heritage, and he gets sent to the pit prison and protected Talia, and they had a paternal relationship where he was like her surrogate father because Ra's al Ghul was off doing his thing, and she just kind of joined his battles, even though he kind of joined with Ra's briefly before he kicked him out of the League of Shadows because he was a bad memory. It's like, yeah, I don't want to keep remembering that my daughter had to grow up in prison and stuff, so go away. And she went with him, but then when Batman let Ra's die, she's like, I must go accomplish my father's job or whatever. What he was trying to do, I'll do that. Bane, you want to help me? Bane's just like, okay, let's go. And so they go and they do their thing. What else was really going on in this movie? Alfred disappeared for most of it. He kind of showed up to say, Rocky, you can't get him, Rocky. He'll knock you dead. Oh, wait, no, that was Mickey. Sorry. I'll do it as Alfred. Master Wayne, you can't do it. This guy worked for the League of Shadows and he'll kill you good. Are you stupid? You haven't been Batman for years. He's going to kick your ass, Master Wayne. And he's like, goodbye, Alfred. At the time, none of us knew he was actually saying, bye, Alfred, we'll see you at the end of the movie. Because that's what happened. He shows up, Alfred quit. If you're going to die, you won't die with me around. I've buried enough members of the Wayne family. And yeah. So Alfred just ditches him. You fucker. Comes back at the end in this terribly sad scene where he's crying and apologizing to the Waynes. And he's just so sorry that he had to bury the whole family. From what he thinks. And then he goes off to the vacation now he's unemployed. Sees Bruce Wayne in that cafe with Catwoman, and they're living life good. And I thought that was happy. Some people thought it was an Inception ending. It's like, okay, Christopher Nolan made Inception, and at the end of that, there's the part where Leo DiCaprio is with his family and stuff, but the top keeps spinning, so you're not really sure because the camera cuts away. Oh, is it a dream or is it reality? And people are like, oh, Batman, oh, could be the same thing because the guy made Inception. No, it's very clearly reality because Alfred talked about how he'd imagine seeing people that look like Bruce Wayne, but he goes there and there's nothing that says it's a dream because we go there, we see what Alfred sees, we've never seen him have the fantasy. When he talks about imagining seeing people, when we go and see that, it's him just looking at people and he has the fantasy that he sees Bruce, but we just go back in time and see that he's looking at people that look like Bruce. So we know it is really Bruce in Florence, I believe. And plus, why would Alfred imagine that he's with Selena Kyle? Is that what he imagines? Oh, Master Wayne, you'll give up being the Batman and you'll hang out with this cat burglar lady. He doesn't know about her, really. Why would he imagine he'd be with her? He'd probably imagine he was with Miranda Tate. Or heck, he'd be crazy and just imagine he's with Rachel and she's back from the dead or something. And that was sad too, when he had to bring up the Rachel thing. He's like, I had the letter and she told me she was going to stay with Harvey Dent, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't break your heart, Master Wayne. And then Bruce is just like, you liar. Get out. See you tomorrow. Oh wait, you're gone? Wait, what? Alfred, I don't know how to make my tea. It's like, yeah. And Morgan Freeman, he's always fun to see. At the same time, what was he doing here? It was basically was talking about the nuclear reactor thrown in prison, talking about the bat, finds out the autopilot was fixed by Bruce Wayne, and so he kind of thinks maybe he's alive. John Blake, I like him for what he's doing here, and they kind of do set up at the end. He's going to take over, and he's going to be Robin, he's going to be Nightwing, he's going to be Batman. Who cares who he's going to be? You know he's taking over the Batman role. Because he doesn't like guns. He has to shoot people. He throws the gun away. You can tell he's got these ideals. He is an orphan and all. He has the right... Yep, he's going to be the new Batman or whatever. If they make a new movie, I don't care. I hope they don't. Because then it just makes it harder to make the Justice League movie. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people going, make a Nightwing movie or make a new Batman movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But at the same time, he said himself, it's just a nice way to end it. You understand where the story would go, that he's just going to take over and do what he's got to do. But they don't need to make a movie out of it. It's just a way to end the movie nicely. It's a good bookend for the movie. So don't make a Nightwing movie. Just do the Batman reboot, make Justice League, and then when Justice League eventually dies off, just do more DC reboots again. Same thing's going to happen with the Avengers. Once they get to like Avengers 5 or 3, they'll just stop. Because eventually continuity will get so crazy and there'll be so many movies, they'll just say, okay, start over. And then they'll just start making Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man movies again in like 20 years, probably even less. And then they'll just have another Avengers movie come out in like 25 years or so. And that same thing's going to happen with Batman. There'll be the Batman reboot, Justice League, a few more Batman movies, Superman movies, and then they'll just reboot it and do it all over again. It's going to be crazy. Can you imagine in 50 years all the Batman movies and all that that'll be out? I mean, people will have their choice. Which, oh, you like the Tim Burton Batman? Oh, really? I like the Christopher Nolan Batman. Oh, well, I like the David Fincher one, or whoever takes over. David Fincher Batman, that would be dark. That'd be creepy. That'd be a good idea. David Fincher, I think he might make an interesting Batman movie if they had, like, if they had Batman dealing with serial killers like Zaz or something, a whole movie about Batman trying to catch the Zaz. That'd be neat. If they make that movie, I deserve some payola because I just came up with the whole idea. And Catwoman, I didn't talk about her much, but I think in the last video I talked about how she's my favorite part of the movie. She is. It's Christian Bale first, though, because he's awesome. One reason why this is my favorite, you get the most Bruce Wayne. Because in the 90s, that was a problem they had. Bruce Wayne was never a highlight of those movies. I mean, Michael Keaton did get a good amount of time as Bruce Wayne, but most part, those movies, they were just trying to be about Batman. They did the stuff with Bruce Wayne they had to, but they want a lot of Batman because that's what people are coming for. These movies, I like that they get a lot of Bruce Wayne because he's a very interesting character. It doesn't all just have to be him as Batman punching people in the face. And that's kind of why people didn't like this movie as much. It's like, there's not enough Batman. There's too much Bruce Wayne in a pit. I understand, but it's like, I found the character stuff interesting, that he has to like overcome fear again and learn to fear death, because otherwise he's just going to get himself killed and all that. All the stuff that's going on, I like it. And Catwoman is awesome. The best version of Catwoman ever. She kicks Michelle Pfeiffer's ass. And Michelle Pfeiffer is all about sex and stuff, and she was pretty whorish. Still like her, but this is the best interpretation of Catwoman, is the Anne Hathaway one. Halle Berry's is the worst. You want to talk about a whorish behavior, Halle Berry's Catwoman. But Anne Hathaway just is so good in this movie. Talia al Ghul, Marion Cotillard, this was the biggest giveaway ever. I think basically once she was cast, everyone's like, Miranda Tate, who's that? She's got to be Talia al Ghul. Same thing with poor Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They're like, John Blake, who's that? He's Robin. It's just like you took, okay, those two. Never heard those characters before? They must be secrets. She's Miranda Tate, but she's going to be Talia. He's John Blake, he's going to be Robin. Everyone had that rumor. And I went in the movie and I'm like, okay, when's he going to turn to Robin? When's she going to turn to Talia? And then what happens? I'm like, yep, everyone knew this. But some of the other twists, never saw it coming. Except for my little brother. He's 9 years old, and he figured out... He was 8 at the time, and he figured out the twist about Talia and Bane, and which of them escaped when they were a child. He figured out that was Talia escaping as a child, and Bane was her protector. I didn't figure that out until they told me. He was like... Yeah, he just said it. He's like, yeah, I did. He was smart. He was paying attention. He was like staring at their eyes. He's like, that character and that character, the eyes are different. That's not Tom Hardy's eyes and that little kid. That's the little girl with a shaved head. And the fact that he figured that out, he's pretty good for figuring that out. He was paying more attention than I was. And I frickin' was into this movie. I wasn't staring into their eyes, though. I don't want to get lost in Tom Hardy's eyes, okay? Yeah, this movie kind of solidified why Christian Bale is the best Batman, because with The Dark Knight Batman Begins, I kind of had Michael Keaton, Christian Bale pretty much tied up. This one puts Christian Bale above Michael Keaton. Because we get a lot more Bruce Wayne, more well acted, better character stuff. Christian Bale is the definitive Batman to me. Whenever I try to read a comic book of Batman or something, I'll imagine Christian Bale, or maybe sometimes Kevin Conroy. Heath Ledger's the definitive Joker other than Mark Hamill. Tom Hardy's the only good Bane. Anne Hathaway's the definitive Catwoman. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a good Robin. I like Chris O'Donnell's Robin, but Gordon-Levitt's good too. Now I'm wondering though, when they do reboot it, I hope they do have this comic book approach to it more than this kind. Like, what I'm saying is, do realistic, but at the same time have it be comic booky, like kind of Watchmen. Take Mr. Freeze, take Killer Croc, take Poison Ivy. Make them work. Make them slightly plausible, but don't shy. Make them be a walking refrigerator with an ice gun, but make it cool. Don't make it Arnold. Make it Patrick Stewart or someone. Make it some little guy that has a freeze gun and does this thing. Killer Croc, make him like a crocodile version of the Hulk. Do it. Just do it good, okay? Do Nightwing and Robin in the Batman movies if you want them in the Justice League or whatever. Cast a good Batman too, for God's sakes. Christian Bale and Michael Keaton are the only good ones. Kevin Conroy is the only good animated one. For movies, Michael Keaton was good. Christian Bale is a great Batman. Who the hell are they going to pick for the next Batman? I'm dreading that almost. Because if you think about the decisions they're going to make, they want someone in like late 20s to like maybe mid-30s. Because they still want a sort of young Bruce Wayne. They don't want old Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns type Bruce Wayne. They don't want Clint Eastwood as the Batman. So I'm thinking, who the hell would they cast? I'm thinking Timothy Olyphant would maybe make a good Bruce Wayne. If you've seen the show Justified or Hitman or A Perfect Getaway or The Crazies, those are the 4 things I know him from. Timothy Olyphant, I think he might make a good Bruce Wayne and Batman because he's got the physical part down. He can be charming and all that, so I think Timothy Olyphant might be a good choice. I was going to say Tom Cruise, but I think he's too old. Timothy Olyphant, that's my choice for the next Batman, okay? Cast him, he's good. If you've seen Justified, you can tell this guy's good. Perfect Getaway, he's good. Crazies, not really a Bruce Wayne Batman type role, but he's good at what he does. Hitman, you can see that he kicks ass. A lot of people didn't like Hitman. That was the only good video game adaptation ever. You know, I'd like to see Tom Hardy, but he might end up being the next James Bond. Because if Nolan does take over the James Bond movies, I almost 100% guarantee Craig is out of there. They're going to get rid of Daniel Craig because Christopher Nolan will be like, I want Joseph Gordon-Levitt or Christian Bale or Tom Hardy. Get him in there. Get him in. He'll do 3 different James Bond movies with each of the actors. He'll just be like, okay, Tom, this will be your movie. Christian, this will be your movie. Joseph, this will be your movie. And then when Christopher Nolan's gone, they'll just be like, hey, Daniel, you want to come back and do James Bond again? He's like, okay. Because, I mean, he's got 2 good movies, 1 mediocre movie, and then he's getting booted out for Tom Hardy or someone, I'm sure. Now I'm just kind of jabbering on. I spoiled enough. I really can't think of anything else to talk about. I love this movie. As I said before, it's an A+ film in my opinion. I understand a lot of people's criticisms. There's plot holes, but at the same time, Christopher Nolan doesn't want to sit there and explain everything. And of all the stuff they cut out, he probably tried to explain a little bit about how Bruce Wayne got back to Gotham or stuff. I don't care. He's Batman. I know that's a horrible answer to everything. How did he do it? Well, he's Batman. He can just do it because he's Batman. But that is the reason. He's smart. He knows how to do stuff. He's Bruce Wayne. He paid someone and he bought their plane and he flew back himself. He learned how to fly. He was in flying school with Ra's al Ghul. They taught him everything. God damn it, this movie's awesome. And kind of in my opinion, the only real trilogy where the movies kept getting better. Batman Begins, good movie. Dark Knight, even better. Dark Knight Rises, even better. Because Star Wars, the argument can be made for Star Wars, perhaps, if you really think Return of the Jedi is better than Empire Strikes Back. Toy Story, I think they all are on the same level. The Bourne movies, number 2 is worse than the first one, okay? And, any other trilogy movies kicking around that I can think of? Fast and the Furious. No, God. That got so bad before Fast 5 saved him. Okay, yeah. The only real good trilogy, well, Lord of the Rings. I kind of hear that was another trilogy that kept getting better. But I can't really speak for it because I saw those when I was like 6. So, all I remember is they walk and they have swords and there's hobbits. Like I saw them when I was 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. And I haven't watched them since because I don't have 10 hours to spare to watch one movie. Maybe that should be my next project. Okay, now I'm really just talking on about nothing. Okay, I should go. I spoiled what I wanted to spoil, I believe. Yeah. I'll probably do a Blu-ray review when that comes out in a couple months. So yeah, I promise I'll review this movie one more time, maybe in next year. I don't know when that Blu-ray's coming out, but when the Blu-ray of this movie comes out, I'm just going to run straight to Future Shop or wherever I gotta go, and I'm just going to pick up some special edition of it, and I'm just going to frickin' hold it and make love to it, and then I'm going to review it for you guys. And maybe then I'll have thoughts I never had now. Because I need to watch it again. If I'm going to articulate this perfect to you, I got to watch it, get straight back to my house, and then film a review. Otherwise, I'm just trying to remember something from a month ago, and it's hard. So if you like the video, you can like it, comment if you've got something constructive to say, and not something like, douchebag, you're a douchebag, this movie sucked, douchebag. If you're going to comment, use constructive criticism or have a point. If you're going to leave first, I'll remove your comment because those are stupid. Subscribe if you like my videos. If you don't like them, then don't watch them. Okay? And I guess my next video will be some kind of update because I've been gone for a month. And before that, all I was doing Batman stuff and a little bit of Spider-Man in what I thought was anticipation to go see the movie, and now I don't even care.